Alright everyone, and welcome back to some more Vettel career on F1 2015. And today we've got both rounds 10 and 11 of the season, and first at the Hungarian Grand Prix. And we're coming here off the back of yet another Ferrari 1-2 then, their second in a row. A little bit more controversial though, with Kimi Räikkönen taking the win over Sebastian Vettel after a penultimate lap collision between them, which Vettel had to take the blame for really. And it was Kimi Räikkönen who went on to win that race, but Vettel still closed in on Lewis Hamilton in the championship standings. In fact, both Ferrari drivers did, as into qualifying, and Q1 and Q2 was a breeze for Mercedes and Ferrari as usual. In Q3, Vettel set an initial fast lap time over Räikkönen, but two Mercedes beat both of them. And then towards the end of the session, Räikkönen actually did set a better time there than Vettel to go slightly ahead of him. But you can see it's pretty close here, only a few tenths in it between them all, and Vettel couldn't quite improve on that time. He was only a tenth shy of his previous best and 4 tenths off of Rosberg, but left him down in fourth, and he was really disappointed about that one. He was certainly hoping that Ferrari would still be ahead of Mercedes, and that he wasn't even ahead of his teammates. So yeah, it was a disappointing day for him then, as Lewis Hamilton actually, right at the end of the session, put in a blistering lap time to go 6 tenths faster than teammate Nico Rosberg to get pole position there. Mercedes 1-2, and Räikkönen had a Vettel then third, and Daniel Ricciardo put in a good performance then to qualify 5th in the Red Bull, ahead of the two Williams. Then we got the Force Indies down row 5 as we go to the grid then, and the strategy is looking like a 2-stop race, and Ferrari's been good in its tyres all season, so it seems quite likely that that'll be possible. So we'll have to see what the others do then, as the lights are coming on. And away they go in Hungary. And Vettel with a terrible start there, has to be said. Daniel Ricciardo already passed him then, as they head towards turn 1 now. And in fact, he's got the two Williams looking at him as well then. He out-brakes Ricciardo, it looks like he's going back at the inside. And it looks like he's back up into 4th place. So he has recovered that then, so what he lost off the line, he seems to have made up for in the braking zone. But we see up ahead there, actually Hamilton ran wide, and Rosberg started at the inside and taking the lead from him then. And they're going side by side there. It's actually cost them some time. Both Ferraris challenging here, looking menacing, and I think there's a bit of banging the wheels there between Hamilton and Räikkönen. Räikkönen getting himself right back into the title fight with that win last time out, and he's looking racy here. So Vettel behind. They both want to try and topple the two Mercedes if they can, certainly Hamilton, because Rosberg's not been really anywhere all season. But you saw there Vettel had a terrible launch off the line there, so much wheel spin. And Hamilton got a pretty good start, and then it seems he's just going to mess it up completely into turn 2, as we see Vettel dive back at the inside of Ricciardo there. We see the onboard then from Rosberg, and he didn't really get that great a start compared to Hamilton. I mean, for Hamilton, it was pretty much as good as you could hope for, really, starting from pole position. Rosberg was lucky that Räikkönen didn't have a great start either, and he was just able to sit behind, so rather uneventful. You can see Hamilton already pulling out a bit of a gap here, and then just into turn 2, just suddenly locks up and runs wide, and Rosberg sees the gap, he does it inside there, sort of barges his teammate out of the way a little bit there. I'm not sure if there actually was contact, but they got away with it, and Rosberg into the lead now then, as we see the onboard then from Ricciardo, and just so much better than Vettel, and I think marginally better than Räikkönen as well then. So Ferrari not having a good start here, but then Vettel diving back up the inside on the brakes, had a lot more confidence there, as we skip up onto the end of lap 4 now then, where we see that Hamilton, despite getting that pole position yesterday, is really struggling here. We've got Kimi Räikkönen now lining them up for a pass, and Vettel's pace was not too great at this point either then. You've got Ricciardo pretty close behind him. This track layout really suiting the Red Bull here with the high aero, and we see that Hamilton and Räikkönen once again banging wheels, and Hamilton's fourth Räikkönen out wide there, and it's cost both of them time, as we are now going to head up towards turn 4 now. And Hamilton looks like he's maintained a pace, but he's really struggling here compared to Rosberg. You can see Rosberg already got about 3 or 4 seconds there of a lead, maybe slightly less than that, but it's looking around about 3 seconds I'd say. As into chicane, Vettel's actually outbraked himself there and hit the back of Räikkönen for the second race in a row, and looks like he's got away with it, but he's obviously lost a bit of time, and Ricciardo's dropped back somewhere, so did he get collected in that as well? We shall see a replay then to see what happened exactly. We're on board then with Ricciardo, and Vettel just outbrakes himself, and then Ricciardo had to take a void in action, and then he just couldn't seem to get going again, which was a bit odd. And then he gets a whack from behind from, I believe, Nico Hülkenberg, who loses his front wing there, so that's ruined his race. As anyway, we skip on to lap 7 then, and we said about Hamilton struggling here, and he's the first of the front runners then to pit, and that's looking like a 3-stopper from there, with Vettel obviously playing the 2-stopper. And interestingly, on the next lap, Raikkonen pits as well as Nico Rosberg, so looks like Mercedes may be on the same strategy as each other, but you can see Ferrari's going separate ways because Vettel looking like he's committed to this 2-stop here. On to lap 10 then, and into the right hand, and he actually cuts the corner there and gets himself a 3-second time penalty. So if he is sticking with his plan of a 2-stopper, then it's just got even more difficult for him because he's got, obviously, he'll be jumping up from 4th to 1st, but then he's got to try and keep a 3-second window when those behind him are on better tyres at the end. And he does actually pit a lap earlier than what was originally scheduled, but it is still looking like a 2-stop strategy from here, as yeah, it was a lap earlier than what was planned. And he will be getting back onto another set of the option tyres then. But yeah, that 3-second penalty could really come back to haunt him at the end of the race, especially if Rosberg, with the pace he's showing, can get within 3 seconds of him. He's going to be massively regretting that. Little corner cut there, possibly, as he is going to rejoin down in 4th place as he was beforehand, with Hamilton still not really putting out any kind of gap over Raikkonen despite getting the lap undercut. And yeah, by the end of lap 13, it was really starting to telescope up again. If Raikkonen's now having a look at Hamilton, Vettel's going to have a look at both of them here into turn 1. He's outbraked himself a little bit. He's actually forced Hamilton out wide a little bit there. Maybe a little bit of cheeky team play going on, but Raikkonen threw it up in 2nd place, and Hamilton has just been demoted by both Ferraris then, as they move up into 2nd and 3rd place. We see the replay then, and yeah, Vettel, he certainly hangs Hamilton out to dry there, it has to be said. Raikkonen gets a very good run here on the struggling Hamilton, who has been struggling all race, it has to be said. And yeah, he was thinking about it, then he backed out when he saw Vettel on it inside. He just lets him run Hamilton out wide, and through he goes. And yeah, we will see the onboard now from Hamilton as well. And yeah, see 2 Ferrari down at the inside of him, and he just gets hung out to dry by Vettel, and then they're both through. So maybe a little bit of cheeky team play going on there to make sure they both got through from Vettel there, but yeah, they are through into 2nd and 3rd place, and they'll probably now be battling between themselves, it looks like, around turn 5. Obviously Vettel pitted 2 laps later, so his tyres are in better shape at this stage, and he dives at the inside into chicane. Raikkonen obviously couldn't turn in on him there, and through he goes up into 2nd place. So this is really starting to come together for him now then, as Rosberg pits at the end of that lap, and I'm pretty sure Raikkonen would as well. And it was a whole 5 laps later when Vettel came in for his change onto the prime tyres, which will be his final stop. Obviously, as he is continuing on with his 2-stop strategy here. And yeah, it's just a case now then of keeping in good pace on these prime tyres, because obviously Rosberg, Raikkonen and Hamilton will be pitting again, and they will have got ahead of him with that 5-lap undercut. But yeah, he's just got to try and keep up 3 seconds once they've all pitted, which is going to be the challenging thing here. As we skip on to lap 25 then, and in fact Vettel actually catching Hamilton now then. Hamilton getting close to his 3rd stop here, and Vettel just dives at the inside of him then. Hamilton has really not looked himself today, it has to be said, after that fantastic pole lap yesterday. He's just looked really out of sorts today, not at all comfortable with the car. And yeah, a few laps later then, Raikkonen and Rosberg both pit for their final stops then. So now it's just a case of Vettel, can he maintain his 3-second gap? Well, we skip to lap 33 of 35, and Rosberg has whittled the gap down to 2.9 seconds. So this is going to be really close now, and Rosberg, you'd have to say with the better tyres, this is going to be difficult now for Vettel to actually maintain, as I'm sorry if you had turned outside there. Anyways, we're on to the final lap there, and Vettel really did try and put his foot down as much as he could, and he did actually get the gap back up to 3.1 seconds. This is going to be so tense. We had Marcus Ericsson there in his way. He didn't let him through until just before turn 4, so that would have probably hurt him a little bit there, as the gap is now back down to 2.9 seconds here, with only 2 seconds of the lap to go. Onto the, what was the middle sector there, see what the gap was. He's actually put in a great middle sector there to bring it back up to 3.2, but he's got Jensen Button in the McLaren right in front of him here, who could possibly get in his way. And well, he will actually have DRS here to the line, which could be crucial here. Round the final corner, Button did let him through there. He's got DRS to the line, no time for any celebrations or anything. He's just got it over the line. Is it 3 seconds though? It looks like it might just be, looking at that long shot just there. And so they come out into the podium. It's Raikkonen 3rd, and Rosberg is 2nd, so Vettel did just about have enough here to win the race, despite the 3-second penalty. And that was a really, really tense final stint there. Rosberg on the better tyres, whittling down the gap slowly but surely. And yeah, Vettel just had to try and extract what he had left from the tyres at the end there to try and keep it above 3 seconds. And a little bit of fortune went with his way there with the DRS, but yeah, he won that race then, and Raikkonen's up there as well in the third, so it's a good result overall for Ferrari. And yeah, there's the final results then. Despite a 3-second penalty, it was actually a 1.4 second advantage in the end, so something happened to Rosberg in the final sector then, but apparently Hamilton then, after that brilliant pole lap, only 4th today, and that's probably lost in the lead in the championship actually then. He had been leading all season up to this point. Yeah, we've got the 2 Williams there in 6th and 7th, with Daniel Ricciardo actually beating them today. Daniel Kvyat was one of the only other drivers that made the 2-stop work, but it didn't actually affect his finishing position. And Fernando Alonso got himself up from 17th to 11th with the same strategy, but yeah, no points for him. The same also for Jenson Button, who did the same thing as well. Hulkenberg only 18th today after losing his front wing in the early stages. Not his fault really, I guess you could have to say, with Ricciardo stopped in the middle of the track. And all 20 cars made it to the finish then, with yeah, the Marussias finishing once again. And yeah, there is the big news. Perez has overtaken Vettel's overtaken Hamilton at the top of the Drivers' Championship. Hamilton's led all the way until this point, but as we get to halfway, Vettel has taken lead. He's taken it by 12 points now. Raikkonen 22 back and Rosberg 55 back. He could have really done with winning this race today if he wanted to sort of mount a serious comeback in the second half of the season, but still a long way to go, so you never know. As we said, Perez actually overtakes Hulkenberg in the battle between the two Force Indias down there in the bottom half. And yeah, nothing much really happening in the bottom half either actually. I actually forgot to look at the constructors at the time, so here it is now. Ferrari now extend their lead to 45 points then over Mercedes. So yeah, Mercedes are really going to have to hit back soon if they want to retain their crown. But we move on now then to round 11, the Belgian Grand Prix. And yeah, once again it was easy for Mercedes and Ferrari to get through Q1 and Q2 despite some rain, as you would probably expect at Spa. And yeah, Vettel's initial time then was at 147.8, which got him pole ahead of Rosberg. And on his second lap, he actually improved on that again and went to 47.5. So yeah, he was the only one who actually improved on his second lap time there. It is going to get him pole position then, which he was delighted about. He was really disappointed with that 4th place in Hungary, but yeah, pole position here today then at Spa. And yeah, there is the final results then for the second race in a row. It is a big margin of pole position. Once again, 6 tenths over Nico Rosberg. Raikkonen actually managed to split the two Mercedes then. The king of Spa managed to get himself in third as Lewis Hamilton. Still in a bit of a bad run of form here, down qualifying at only 4th here today. There's the 2 Williams in 5th and 6th, and Sergio Perez out-qualified Daniel Ricciardo in the Red Bull. So yeah, it's looking like a 2-stop race here then. Once again, the Ferrari good on its tyres, so shouldn't be an issue then. As yeah, we've got the lights coming on now then in Belgium. And away we go then at Spa. And yeah, Vettel with an okay start, but Rosberg looks like he's got a better one here then. Round the outside, Vettel maintains his inside line. Sort of runs, I think he ran Rosberg out a little bit wide there. Maybe a little bit of team play again like in Hungary there to actually allow Raikkonen to move ahead of him. And yeah, but it is for Ferrari 1-2 then out of La Source and Upper Rouge now. And through Radion, Vettel's got a great run. And yeah, looks like he may have already broken the slipstream actually to his teammate Raikkonen. So he may not even be under pressure here, like going towards Le Com. And yeah, Ferrari 1-2 then it looks like for the early part of this race, as we will now see a replay of the start. And yeah, a lot of wheel spin off the Ferrari there, but yeah, he always had the inside line there, which is one advantage of pole at this track. And yeah, you see Rosberg running that wide. It didn't look like Vettel was really overly aggressive with him. It looked like Rosberg just went a little bit too deep there. We see the onboard then from Raikkonen. He was under attack from Hamilton a little bit. And yeah, it didn't really look like Rosberg would run out wide too much. He just seemed to run out there himself. We will now look at an onboard from Hamilton then. And we will actually see that he did actually think about having a look at Rosberg there and maybe return the favour for Hungary actually. But then he just sort of was always going to be driving into a wedge there, so had to back out of it. Now, in this early part of the race, the 2 Williams actually started to mix it up with the Mercedes here. Obviously, they got the same engine in their cars, so yeah, on the first and final sector, they were pretty matched on pace there. And you see that they're really mixing up here and allowing the Ferraris to pull away. You saw the gap there briefly between Kimi Raikkonen in second and Hamilton in third, and yeah, it's just allowing the Ferraris to run away with this one. as we skip now to lap 7 of the race. And yeah, it's actually Massa and Kvyat in second and third then, because once again the team Mercedes and Raikkonen both pitting quite early, so maybe 3 stoppers from them once again. So that'd be quite interesting then, because Vettel out front with good pace seems to be sticking with his 2-stop here then. So I mean, if they can't make the 3-stop work, then this could be a pretty big winning margin here for Vettel here today, as he's already got a comfortable lead then over Massa and Kvyat, who I'm pretty sure were on a similar strategy to him. And yeah, nothing happened during that middle stint then, as yeah, no one could get close to him at that point. And the 3-stop didn't really seem to be working that well for those behind, it has to be said. And Vettel's tyres were actually holding it pretty well. As into the pits he comes in for what will be his changeover onto the prime tyres. Ferrari really took their time with that one. I mean, they could afford to because of their comfortable lead at this point. And yeah, Vettel's going to rejoin then, still in the lead by an absolute mile, having had all the others already make their second stops, and will be coming in for a third one later on. And yeah, we skip on to lap 22 then, and yeah, it's just no competition for him all race. He managed the 2-stop completely fine. The others tried a 3-stop, it didn't work for him at all. And yeah, it was just a completely dominant drive here from Sebastian Vettel for what is going to be another win then, two in a row here, and the 4th in a row for Ferrari, I believe. And we're on the final corner then, and Sebastian Vettel is going to dominantly win the Belgian Grand Prix.
Yes, you did it! You did it! Pole position, race lead from lap 1. You great, you magic!
Ferrari delighted with that one then. And it's once again another 1-2 then for the team, where Raikkonen managed to beat Hamilton in the end and finish in second place. It was looking close between them behind, but yeah, Raikkonen came out on top then. But Sebastian Vettel, absolutely dominant here today. Probably the most dominant, well, we've seen him since the Red Bull days back in 2013. But yeah, he's delighted with that one then. And it's extended his lead in the championship as well, with Lewis Hamilton only 3rd today. So yeah, that is a big gain from then in the championship fight, and for the constructors as well. We see the final results then. It was nearly 50 seconds in the end, the gap between he and Kimi Raikkonen. Just goes to show you how much pace he had here today, and how well he made the 2-stop work, has to be said, as Lewis Hamilton just about finished ahead of Rosberg then in the end. Very close between them actually for the final podium place. Bottas finished 5th, headed down Kvyat, who once again made the 2-stopper work. Someone else who also made it work was Carlos Sainz, who managed to go from 13th to 8th in the race then with that 2-stop strategy. So it's a bit of a surprise really that some of the others didn't try it, although maybe they were just struggling with tyre wear too much. But yeah, we see then that Sergio Perez stayed in 7th, Hulkenberg stayed 9th, but Grosjean actually, Ricciardo actually, sorry, dropped down to 10th then today. And looking further down, we see Felipe Massa had a pretty dismal afternoon. Not sure what happened to him, but he was only 17th here today then in the Williams, with his teammate Bottas up in 5th. So yeah, not sure what happened there then. All 20 cars making it to the finish for the 2nd race in a row. And yep, in the driver's standings then, Vettel now on to 202 points, which puts him 22 points clear of Lewis Hamilton. And yeah, he's already almost getting close to having a race wins advantage here then. He's got one over Kimi Raikkonen now, then he's 29 points clear. And let's not forget, at the start of the season, Raikkonen was looking like the better of the 2 Ferrari drivers. Looking further down, Rosberg dropping too far back now, you'd have to say, to be considering the title fight, I think. You'd have to say that. Massa and Bottas 5th and 6th still for Williams, and Kvyat were closing a bit on Ricciardo today, but he's still quite a way behind. In the constructors standings then, Ferrari now are 61 clear, and we're going to have a look at the bottom half of that because I forgot to look at that first. As yeah, Sainz actually overtook Alonso in the battle for 16th place there. One of his only point scores just so far this season, it looks like then. As we are going to look at the constructors any second now. And yeah, Ferrari then 61 points clear now of Mercedes, with this brilliant run of form they're having. And yeah, looking further down, we see that Lotus have actually been jumped by both Force India and Toro Rosso today then. Progress really stalling on that car, and yeah, upgrades are just not coming, whereas Force India have just been improving all the time. So yeah, we're seeing some changes in the midfield then. But yeah, Ferrari just going from strength to strength here. And yeah, they're going into their home race now with a lot of form and a lot of momentum behind them. So that is it then for this double bill here today then. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, and also any thoughts or any comments, whatever, down in the comments below. You can check the description for links to my Twitter and Twitch. Other than that, I shall see you next time. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.